Okay, so I just wanted to review with you, boys and girls. Again, I just wanted to review with you, boys and girls, the 3 different strategies that we spoke about when comparing fractions. Okay, so again, this is a review, so it should be nothing new to us. We have our same numerator strategy. When we're talking about the numerators being the same, can everyone give me a thumbs up? Are the numerators the same here? We have a 2 and a 2. Beautiful. So when the numerators are the same, what we're doing is we're looking at the denominators. The larger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. Let's look over here. Which denominator is larger, the 8 or the 4? Abby?
The 8.
So because 8 is larger than 4, right? 8 is greater than 4. The 2/8 is the smaller fraction. And remember how I always like to talk about the why behind it? Well, let's think about it. The denominator being so large means that all those pieces have to be cut in smaller pieces. So you're only getting 2 pieces of the 8. Again, if you're talking about a birthday cake, right? You're getting smaller pieces here. Okay, so the same numerator, the larger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. Give me a thumbs up if we understand that one. Okay, I have nods, I have thumbs up. Okay, so I'm going to check that one. Let's take a look at our next review one. We have this same denominator. So just before we spoke about the same numerator, now we're talking about fractions with the same denominator. Does everyone agree we have a 6 here and a 6 here? Okay, so now this one's nice and straightforward. The larger the numerator, the larger the fraction. So we're comparing the 5 for the numerator here to the 2 for the numerator here. And which one is larger? Boys and girls, show me with your fingers, a 5 or a 2. Which one's larger? The 5 is larger. 5 is greater. So because the 5 is greater, the 5/6 is the greater fraction. Again, let's think about it in terms of cake, because I love to think about food when I talk about math and fractions. If I have 6 friends at my house, right, I'm not having a piece of cake. I'm on a diet. But if I'm talking about the 6 friends that come over, 6 people are in my house eating cake, right? If 5 of them eat the cake, a lot is gone, as opposed to just 2 of them eating the cake. Okay, there'd be a lot left over for me to eat later. All right, so are we good on the same numerator? So we just went over the same denominator. We went over the same numerator, we went over the same denominator, and again, I want to just review with you the missing piece strategy. Now, this one's a little bit more tricky, okay? When we're talking about the missing piece strategy, what we're doing, again, a review, is we're comparing the pieces or the parts that are not there, that are missing. So the rule here is the larger the missing piece, the larger the piece that's missing, the smaller the fraction. Now I'm going to draw this out. Okay, I'm going to draw this one out for us. So let's move my smartboard. Okay, so we're going to compare 7/8 and 5/6. So if I'm talking about eighths, right? I'm going to cut this circle into 8 equal pieces, the best that I can, okay? And I'm going to shade in 7 of them. So here we go. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Does everyone agree that 1/8 is missing? Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Okay, so this little part right here is the missing part. Okay, so if we're talking about a cake, all of this was eaten, just 1/8 was not, 1/8. Now over here, I'm talking about 5/6. So I have my circle. Again, I'm trying to make them as similar as possible. So let's try and envision that my circles are exactly the same size, but this one's going to be cut into 6ths. So I'm going to make a nice big X this way and try and have the same exact size pieces. Now I'm shading in 5 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does everyone agree there? This is 1/6. That represents 1/6. Okay, so I see so many thumbs up. Perfect. Okay, Hannah, all okay, babe? We're okay? Okay, great. So now what I have to do is I have to do exactly what the name of the strategy tells me. I'm comparing the piece that's missing, the one that I didn't shade. So I'm comparing the 1/8 to the 1/6. And the rule says the larger the missing piece, the smaller the fraction. Does everyone agree that 1/6, since they have the same numerator, 1/6 is the larger fraction? So because this fraction's larger, this missing piece is larger, my 7/8 is actually the larger fraction. Do we see that? Okay. So those are the 3 strategies that I wanted to just review with you, boys and girls, that you've been doing such an awesome job on this past week. Okay. Again, this was just a review. From here on out, I'm going to have a small group with me. Okay. And we know how we always do small groups. I'm going to keep the students on with me for my small group. And the students that are not on with me, you're going to go ahead and go on Think Central and work on our 9.4 as well as our mid-chapter checkpoint. Okay. And I'll see you, boys and girls, at our 10:30 meeting for reading. All right. You did an awesome job. But the students that are staying with me, please, are Kristen, Samantha, Alfred, Max, Devin, and Lily. Okay, I'll say that one more time. Kristen, Samantha, Alfred, Max, Devin, and Lily. If you didn't hear your name, way to go. I'll see you in a short bit. Thanks, guys. Awesome job. All right. And so I should have just about 6. Sophia, we'll see you at our reading meeting. Beautiful. Okay, boys and girls. So I'm glad you stayed on with me. First of all, thank you. Okay, we're going to continue to do the small work that we have been doing in the past. All right, I know that you see my screen, so I'm going to jump over to an exemplar that I want to explore with you. Okay, so this, we're going to slide over. We're going to jump down 1. Does everyone see my screen where it has a nice amount of words on it? It says pizza for lunch. Okay, so I'm going to read this exemplar to us. There's a lot of words on the exemplar. And you, boys and girls, are going to tell me what we need to do. Okay, so you're going to help me organize my information. We'll talk through that. All right, so pizza for lunch. Again, I think I picked this exemplar because I love food and I love thinking about fractions and food together. So Addie and Brianna love to eat pizza for lunch. Addie's mother bakes a rectangular pizza for Addie and a rectangular pizza for Brianna. The rectangular pizzas are the same size. Okay, so we know that we can talk about fractions when we're talking about the same size. So I'm just going to quickly highlight that because I love that right there. Same size, okay, and I know they're rectangular. Those are 2 things that are real important. Addie cuts her pizza into 4 equal pieces and eats 1 piece. Brianna cuts her pizza into 3 equal pieces and eats 1 piece. Mother writes 1/4 on a paper for the pizza Addie eats. Mom writes 1/3 on the paper for the pizza Brianna eats. Mother writes a greater than symbol or a less than symbol for an equal symbol to show, or an equal symbol to show who ate the most pizza. Okay, what symbol should mother use to show who ate the most pizza? Now, boys and girls, I don't know about you, but when I look at something like that looks like a paragraph, I get very overwhelmed because there's a lot of information going on. Give me a thumbs up if you actually agree with that. There's so much going on here. Okay, so who could tell me what things we need to extract or how we can gather our information, right? How we do our exemplars, how we can gather our information. What should I highlight? Okay, I'm going to have you guys talk through this together. So you actually don't have to raise your hand. You can kind of just talk it out, okay? Go for it. What should I highlight?
1/4 and 1/3 for like the amount the girls eat.
Okay, let's get there. 1/4. And where's my 1/3? There we go. Okay, so we know those 2 things are important. Anybody else?
We have to say that she cuts her pizza into 4 equal pieces and another pizza into their equal pieces?
Absolutely. The two different girls cut their pizzas in two different ways. Okay. So those things are definitely important. Anything else?
You have to highlight the question.
Okay. Yeah. As you boys and girls know, in class, we always write a Q, the letter Q, right next to the question. But for today's purposes, I will highlight the question. There's more than one. It says, what symbol should mother use? Okay. To show who ate the most pizza. Right? We want to know. She writes a greater than, less than, or equal to symbol. So what symbol should mother use to show who ate the most pizza? And then we should also probably inform everybody who ate the most pizza. So we're going to stop here. I want you boys and girls right now to go ahead and transfer that information into your notebooks for the gathering of the information. Okay? While you're doing that, I'll give you just a couple seconds to transfer that over. You know we can just bullet point that information. Okay, and then I'm going to ask someone to share with me what you put under the gather the information, what you have bullet pointed over here. Okay. Good job so far. All right, Max, what do we have on our gather information?
You write 1/3 for the pizza that Brianna eats.
Perfect. 1/3 and Brianna's name. Keep going.
And then 1/4 for the pizza that Andy eats.
Addie, 1/4. Perfect. Okay. Beautiful. And now we have to consider these symbols, what we're using, right? So now our question is, if we were to restate, how can we restate the question? Instead of me saying it, I'm going to ask you, how do you restate what symbol should mother use to show who ate the most pizza? How do we say this in another way? Because we like to organize our information in an exemplar. How am I restating this question here? Let me go back to the question for you guys. How do I say it again? Kristen?
We can restate the question like this. How can I can't hear anybody. Let me just leave and rejoin.
Okay, sweetie. Leave and rejoin, honey. Okay, Kristen, go ahead. I think Lily froze. Go ahead, Kristen.
How can mom compare the pizzas?
Yeah, how is mom going to compare the pizzas? What is it, greater than, less than, equal to? Beautiful. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to show you a couple things. So I'm going to show you, and you're going to tell me what symbol this is. What symbol is this? Alfred, what symbol is that?
Greater than.
Okay, that's a greater than. Does everyone agree? Thumbs up. Good. What symbol is this? Devin?
Equal to.
We all agree? Thumbs up. Okay, great. And this symbol? Samantha?
Less than symbol.
A less than symbol. So I have my three symbols we just went over, right? We have our three symbols. What we have to do is we have to figure out where the fractions are going. So as they said, mom had taken a rectangular pizza that were the same size. One was cut into fourths and one was cut into thirds. We have fourths. I already pre-did this for us. Let's see if we can, let me try and fix that lighting for all of us. This might help it a little bit more. Okay, one was cut into fourths and one was cut into thirds. The other one we have over here will be in thirds. So here's my thirds. Do you agree that these pizzas are the same size? So that's the first step that's important because I cannot compare pizzas that are different sizes. My second step is to look at 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and shade in 1/4. Then I'm going to go ahead and shade in 1/3. We know that we must have the same starting point and same ending point to make sure that we're talking about the same size pizza, okay? So now, if I'm going to take my fraction of the 1/3 and my fraction of the 1/4, you boys and girls need to help me figure out which symbol mom's using. So, and tell me why, okay? What symbol is mom using and why? Who thinks they know? Maybe even talk about a rule we just learned from our class period. I'm going to give everyone a second to take a look. I know you're all writing this down. There we go. I'm getting more hands now. Okay, Kristen, can you tell us what's on your mind? What do you think?
Could 1/3 is greater than 1/4?
So Kristen says, and I'm just going to move it over, 1/3 is greater than 1/4. Does everyone agree? We all agree. Why? You know I love that question, why? Why is 1/3 greater than 1/4, Devin?
Because if you're comparing two fractions and they each have the same numerator, then the denominator with the less number is the greater fraction.
Okay, now I'm going to take it a step further again. Why? I know that's the rule. Why is that? Why is the denominator that smaller? I'm taking it to a higher level, right? Why is the smaller the denominator, the greater the fraction? Lily, why would that be?
Because when you're comparing the same numerator, you compare the denominator, and then it's 4 is greater than 3, so you have to flip-swap that around since it's the same numerator. So 1/3 is greater than 1/4.
Yes, but now I'm asking you, look at the fraction pieces, the strips, right? Look at these pieces. Why is it that 1/3 is greater? Why is it that? Samantha?
Because like if you look at the fractions, and then it's like since 3 is the denominator, 3 is less than 4, it means it has less pieces, so the pieces will be like bigger, because if it has like more pieces, then you have to put the pieces in like smaller sizes.
Perfect. That was said beautifully. Think about it, boys and girls. This fraction, the denominator is 3. So I'm cutting it into 3 pieces. This fraction, the denominator is 4. That means I have to cut it in more pieces. So because I'm cutting it in more pieces, my pieces have to be smaller, okay? So that was really well said, Samantha. All of you did an awesome job. So let's just go back to our question to make sure that we answered our question, right? Mother writes 1/4 on a piece of paper. So let's go back. We have our 1/4. Okay, and I'll show that in the screen in just a moment. And 1/3. And our question was, what symbol should she use to show who ate the most? And the symbol would be, if it's 1/4, we would have the less than symbol, right? And if it's 1/3 first, we would have the greater than symbol. So you have to decide which fraction's going first and which fraction's going behind, because the symbol does change. So if you wrote 1/3, your symbol would be greater than, as you all mentioned to me, than 1/4. But if you wrote 1/4 first, your symbol would be the less than symbol. Okay, do you boys and girls agree? Okay, so now our final step of our exemplar, I want someone to go ahead and tell us the answer and explain. The answer and explain. Tell us in steps with transition words, what did we just do to figure out our problem? Think of all of the things we used, our strips, our pizzas, okay? Who thinks that they can tell us step by step what we just did? And I know that I have more than just 2 hands up. I see Kristen, Lily, and Samantha. What did we do just now? Okay. Lily, go ahead.
I know that 1/3 is greater than 1/4 because when I drew out 2 rectangular rectangles and I separated them into first 1/4, so 4 equal parts are in a rectangle, and second I drew a rectangle with 3 equal parts. And so when I saw that like the numerators of each fraction was the same, then I knew to use the strategy same numerator. So first I compared the denominator, which is 4 and 3, and 4 is greater than 3, so we just flip swap that around since it's the same numerator strategy. And then now I know that 1/4 is less than 1/3 and 1/3 is greater than 1/4.
Beautiful. The only thing that's missing from your answer, the only thing that's missing is the question. What symbol should mom use? So we have to make sure that we answer the question. So what symbol should mom use? Kristen?
So
I'm going to just see if Kristen understands as well. Thank you, Lily. You did an awesome job. Kristen, what symbol should we use?
Could use the greater sign and write 1/3 is greater than 1/4.
Beautiful. Boys and girls, was this helpful? Do you see how actually drawing it out and even cutting pieces out can make it more fun and more friendly? And you can really see how these thirds are larger than the fourths, right? By using kind of things like fraction strips and a model. Okay, you did an awesome job today. Okay, go ahead and finish up your in your notebook, the 4 sections. And then what I'm going to actually ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to send that to me because I want to take a look at that, okay? All right, so you can email it to me if you take a screenshot and then just send it to my email. All right.
I can't take a screenshot.
Then you can upload it. With
How
any,
do I?
you know how you upload up something to art, or you know how like the sentence art class, if you upload and then just attach the file.
Wait, but what do I have to like send or?
This is your notebook of your work.
Okay.
Beautiful. Okay. Any other questions?
So, can I ask my mom to take a
Wait, but
picture of
Miss
my
Coluzzi,
and then send it to your email?
Yep, you can have mom take a picture and send it to my email.
Miss Coluzzi, I have nothing to send because I was using the bathroom.
Okay, so you're going to do the work right now, and then I want to see that you actually understand it. So you'll send it to me. Okay? Lily?
what if I separated my second sections like this?
That is exactly what I want to see. That's beautiful. Okay? I'd love you to upload that and send it to my email, okay? Because I want to just take a look at your work to make sure that you fully understand it. All right, guys? You did an awesome job today. Thank you so much. Good small group. And I will see you in just 10 short minutes for our reading lesson, okay? All right. Kristen, last question, hon, or you have the hand up?
It's a question.
Sure.
Can you put like the explanation in the chat or in the stream?
No, that you're going to tell me that you understand it. You're going to send it to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
I'm going to, oh, you mean the
couldn't
problem, honey? The problem? That I'm actually going to post to our stream just for the 6 of you. I'm
no,
going
like
to take,
the explanation.
yeah, I'm going to do that right now.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. Good work.
Bye.